recording. So we want to use this table that we used last time. So this is the table we'll copy. So create a new sheet and call it structured tables. I don't know if there's no, there was a certain sheet that we is in that data, and it is using this the first data that we had been it's using this data. I don't want us to use this. We can use a different one. Of course, we can even use it, but let's use the one we did for referencing. So that we copy this one. Copy even this one. That one, because it is we've used it. No, we may not need it. So just copy this, control copy, and then come to structured tables, and so it is at B. So we can even use it here at B4, and then paste it as values. Yeah, paste it as values. Casey, your hand is up.
Yes, Boniface, is that table we have done?
This one. This one.
The data I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, Jana.
yeah,
Yes,
the one I shared with you. Yeah.
Inaonyesha another one.
How is it showing?
It's the US president's Excel data.
No, that one is we want to use it for data cleaning. So we are still using this data that we were working with yesterday.
Jana, I wasn't in class.
But I shared with you a certain data. Yeah, so use the one I shared with the day before yesterday, actually. So that one. Yeah, so I hope everyone has done this. Copy and paste it as values. Paste as values. We don't want to care about the formulas that are there. Just paste it as values. So this one, new price after, and then there's another one here. Yeah, so let me delete this. I can even delete these rows that we have here. Delete, so that we have it this way. Okay, so we are talking about Excel tables. This one that we had been using yesterday, or even since day one. This one is not a table. These are just entries. This one is not a table. If somebody thought that it is a table, it is not, and you'll also see why it is not a table. So go to structured, and now we want to insert a table here around this data of ours, right? So you just highlight the table. Somebody may want to highlight it up to here. Yeah, I mean, just highlight it maybe even up to this point. 2 steps. Or we can just do it this way. So let us highlight up to there. And then go to insert. When you go to insert, there is pivot table. This one we'll use next week. Then there is table. Insert a table around that data. Then now and then it is telling you where is the data for your table, the one that we highlighted. So it is telling it is B1. So from B1 up to F11. F11 is this one up to this corner here, right? And then ensure that it is highlighted that my table has headers. It is ticked, right? And then click on OK. If you are able to do that, say thumbs up. Alvin, Moirori, Alan. Okay. Is anyone having a? If you're having a challenge, you can just say, but that should be very simple step.
Can you repeat it?
Okay. So this is the data that we have. So we have from item up to backpack, the new price of backpack, right? That is what you highlight. So if your table was even up to maybe number 20, you just highlight all of it. There are those people who may want to highlight it using this place. It will cover the whole of Excel table, right? The whole of Excel cells and Excel rows and the whole sheet. So that if you do an insert table, you will see how many rows is Excel having. Is this one rows or columns? So we are having one that is 1 million, right? You can have entries of a million in Excel, right? Sometimes, keep prop. What we did was just to highlight the whole table. Where our table is lying, and then click on that, and Excel automatically identifies that we are starting from B1 to F11. Then ensure that it is checked here that my data has headers, sorry, and then click on OK. Yeah. Kiprop, uko sawa? Okay. Yeah, there's also another thing. Maybe sometimes, let me just check if it is working. So let's go to insert and then table and then cancel. Let me click outside. Okay. Mm, if I click anywhere, okay, so then let's go to table, insert, and then it may think that this one is my table, right? So where's the data for your table? You can even use this one. If you click this, you can select. So the moment I'm selecting, you can see that things are changing up there. So this is where my table is lying. 11 rows and 5 columns. You can see at the corner there, it is writing 11 rows by 5 columns. Then I just click this red whatever, and then it has captured it, and then I come here and say my table has headers. So you first don't have to highlight. You can just go straight to insert table. Of course, you can even type this my table as the headers, then go to, and then we highlight it up to here, and then come back to this red one and click on OK. So you can see that it has already highlighted. Which one is easier for you, the first one or the second one? Yeah, Bethel, first one. So it is 50% for, is it 50-50? Or 100%, 100%. Bethel saying one. Okay, Aiga is first one. Winnie and Bogo both. Okay, provided you're able to achieve your target, yes. Provided you're able to achieve your target, it's okay. Yeah, most people are saying the first one. So you can first highlight. But now if you have yeah, okay. You can first highlight. Bethel?
I have a question or a concern. The column for total sale, your column for total sale has been is it for should we expand ours too?
Mine has been expanded.
It has more space.
I think it's my table that did it.
Okay, all right.
There's no problem. Let me reduce it so that you want it that way. Yeah. I mean,
I wanted to know whether we need to expand ours.
no. I can change this ones to. So because we copied just the values, you can see that the dollar signs, or maybe the formatting did not also change. You can go back to this and yeah, you can just highlight all of it and insert dollars. Yeah. So I wanted to, let me see, insert and then insert your table. And then my data has headers. Okay. So you see what happened. It has just increased, expanded sizes here. Do we have Evita here? Evita is asking which data are we using. Where is Evita? Uh, yeah, you don't have this data that you are using. Yeah, somebody to share that data in the group. A good Samaritan. Let's see if somebody to share the. All right, let me forward it. If our Samaritans are not okay, Wema Nicole has posted it. Okay, so we can continue. So what are we doing? We've just inserted a table. And now you can see the difference between this one that we are using right now and the other one. You can see maybe that difference with this. What is some notable differences that you can see between, sorry? You're supposed to be in the group, right? In the data mines.
I think maybe a different group. The info miners now.
Okay. Yeah, it's the data mines. Okay. Let me tell somebody to add you. Okay, so what is the difference between this one? The difference between what we have here, item, quantity, price, price per unit, or maybe just this entry that we have with the other one, the structured. So compare this one and this one. So what can you see? Any difference? Somebody to type, to say. So between the data that has a table and the data that does not have a table. You people have inserted tables, right? I'm waiting for somebody to type any difference that they've seen. Ross is also asking the data to be shared. Okay, let me share the. Sorry?
Show it again, the other one to compare it with.
I hope you have this file that you are using. So just check maybe your structured table that you've developed and with the referencing table that we had. So compare the two. So we have this one and then we have this one. So compare the two and tell me like what difference are you seeing? Just use your data, the one that you have. So Bethel is saying that one is visually appealing. Somebody is talking about visual appeal of the data, of the table. Uh-huh. Any other difference? There is a major difference that is clearly seen that I'm wondering. So the second one has filters. Alan Soita is saying there is an arrow in the heading for more options on table 1. Then no filters in the second table, 2 decimal points. So this one has 2 decimal points. So the other one I believe they have that. Yeah, but one of the things that is really clear, so in quantity. Oh, yeah, we made a mistake. This one is not supposed to be in dollars. Thank you, Joel. This one is supposed to be general. The only ones are this price up to this. So make that correction here also, because I'm the one who just highlighted this and then formatted them into dollars here, which should not be the case. Yep. Yeah, so this one clearly organized. And again, you can also see banded rows. You can see this row is having a similar color to this. This one is having a similar, like it's alternating in terms of even coloring. So that is also one of the differences with even this one. But the key difference is the fact that we have a drop down here, and then you can do filtering, you can do whatever, you can sort, you can sort Z to A, sort by color. Are you seeing here? Like it's very easy for you to do this as compared to this one where we had to first maybe highlight a row, then go to, highlight a column and go to the sorts, insert a filter, and then a filter is going to be here, then come here and maybe filter out. You don't want to see the 23s, you don't want to see the 30s. Yeah. Go back from there and go to filter and remove the filter. For structured tables, it's direct. You just pick there. If you don't want to do a sorting, sort A to Z. Ishakuwa sorted, right? A to Z, so that is 78 to 91. Which one have we sorted? Yeah, we have sorted in terms of the item, right? And you can see the item has been sorted here. So Control Z gets us back to where we were. If it is in terms of filtering, you can filter and maybe remove gloves and remove flashlight, conclude by removing belt, and go back and just have now this. You can see here it has been highlighted that some rows are missing. And another thing that is also seen, of course, you can change these colors. Let me even delete this. Yeah, you can even change the colors here that are alternating, so that you have so if you click anywhere within the table, you'll see a design is popping. So here you can change the colors. How those the colors are alternating. So you can change the design, sorry. So if I click this, you can see a different design is there. You click that one, this, move around. So that is table styles. So another one is, so you can highlight all of them and maybe see medium. You can even do this, use this one. I think this one looks more beautiful. Table style, medium. Let's go with this one. Yeah. Another thing, in terms of even the designs, go back to design. So we have banded rows. Banded rows means that this row is having in terms of their coloring, they are alternating. So we are having number 2 is having the same color to number 3, number 4, number 6, 8, 10. So you can see we are showing header row. So if you don't want the header row to be shown, you may click it out. We are not having a total row. We can include a total row, right? Filter button, if you don't want the filter button to be there, you can remove it. Yeah. If you don't want to show the first, first column. So first column to be maybe colored in, bolden, you may click that. Last column kama ndio unataka to be bolden, you can click that. If you want banded columns now you can see that column number A is having a similar color to column number C to column number E. That means maybe let us remove banded rows. So we have banded columns, colors are changing. Yeah. If I add a new column here, for example, total sales after, so after what is happening? So after 10%, so we can just write 10% increase. 10% increase. You see that it has added a column, right? But if you type here at the new column, it is not added. But if you add a new column immediately, let's write here maybe new column. It is added as part of the column family, right? Yeah, so part of the design that you are doing. So do you prefer banded columns or banded rows? Which one looks more better? Banded columns or banded rows? You want banded columns? Yeah, okay. So in this case, for me, I'd prefer banded rows, so that the rows are the ones that are banded. Any other thing that you've not done? Yeah, so we've checked all those styles, and you can use any that you prefer. So what are we asking ourselves right now? Yeah, Eric.
Banded, please.
Where?
Banded columns.
Yeah. So here you can see we have banded rows. Banded rows meaning that this row is having a similar color to, they are alternating. So row number 2, then row number 3, then row number 4. So row number 2 is having similar color to row number 4, similar to 6. I don't know if there is one where we have 3, it is organized in 3, 3, 3, but I doubt. Let me check the design. So you can see even this one now. Yeah, so all of them are banded. So dark, if you want it dark that way, this one can affect your eyes, so wash out. So you can see that Eric, that these colors are changing. We're changing from number 2, number 4, they are having the same color. So if you go back to design, if you don't want the rows to be banded, so you can see here, banded rows, display banded rows in which even rows are formatted differently from odd rows. This banding can make tables easier to read. If you go to banded columns, display banded columns in which even columns are formatted differently from odd columns. Of course, it makes it so if you hover around, you can see display special formatting for the first column. Yeah, you can display for the first column, you can see here. But what banded columns means is that let me remove it. So you can see that the even columns are having similar color. ACE, sorry. are having different color. Eric, are you okay? Okay. Yeah, so that is tables. That is tables in now let's go to maybe working around the formulas that you were using yesterday. So you can see here, of course, automatically it has a certain summation, finding it totals for whatever we have here. We should be able to use the formulas or the functions that we used yesterday to get even the totals here. But I want you to see how different it is writing functions inside the table and writing functions with the data that is not in table form. For example, this one. So if you write here, maybe is equaling to, so this total sales after 10% increase, it means that you are going to multiply quantity times new price. So quantity times new price after the 10%, right? So total sales here, of course, it is equaling to product. So product of, so number one is quantity. Now see how it is referencing it. So number one, it is referencing it at quantity. So structured references is a situation in which a table is let me find a simple sentence to maybe give. But you can see that maybe yesterday when you were working with formulas here in Excel, we were using maybe is equaling to a reference for the cell number. So if it is B4, we are saying maybe is equaling to B4 times C4. But in this case, we are using the column name to refer to a certain cell. So if you check here, you can see that it is at quantity, while in that other instance, it could have been B2. So we are multiplying maybe B2 by E2. So right now, if I put here this one, it is at new price. Of course, the name of that column is new price after 10% increase. And then we add a bracket, or maybe close the parenthesis. But one thing that you will see is the name of that column is inside a square bracket. So here we have a square bracket containing quantity. So quantity is the name of the column. At is basically to refer to the at is used to refer to maybe a certain maybe a certain name of a column here. But again, you'll understand also the different use of at inside here, where you have information in the same row. By the way, that is the explanation. When you have information in the same row and you are maybe doing a calculation, then Excel will use at. So whenever you see at being used, then it means that we are having information contained in the same row. So cells are in the same row where you have entered the formula. So for example, B2 and E2 are in the same row. That is why we are inserting an at. In an instance maybe where we don't have, where values are not appearing in the same row, you will also be able to see the difference. But again, the advantage of Excel now is that, or maybe structured tables, you don't have to maybe write a formula and then drag. In an instance, last time when we needed to maybe drag so that the formula is populated. In this case, you just maybe type once and then it reflects downwards, right? For example, this one, if you were to find the total sales, we could write is equaling to product, then the number is maybe this one. So you can see it is referenced as C5, comma, new price, and then you maybe close that the bracket, and then you'll see that it has not been referenced the same way we had this kind of referencing here, where it uses the column name. The name of this column is called quantity. The name of this other one is called new price after 10% increase. So that is one of the difference that you will be able to see. And then it automatically does the, or maybe copies the formula to the adjacent cells going downwards, right? As compared to this one where we have to drag. So here we have to drag downwards and then get it to here, right? So that that is our result. So that is one of the, one of the advantages again of when having a structured table. It's really quick even when working out with your doing your calculations. Something that you have not done. When you go to design, let's click any and design. You can see here we are being told table name, right? Then ours is called table 7. Table 7, I believe, because it is in sheet number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this one is the 7th one. So it is table 7 because of the fact that we are in sheet number 7. But you can rename this and say, what is the name to this one? Maybe inventory, or even sales table. This one is a sales, right? You don't have to write sales table, but I'm just writing sales. Yeah, so our table name, you need to also give your table name. Just go to design and then go to table name here and give it a name as sales. That is one thing that you should have done while doing. Anybody having a challenge with what you've done so far? I mean, that is just simple stuff. If you're okay, thumbs up. Yeah, so that is again very key advantages of having a table. And again, something else that you will notice is okay, let's find this. Let's find this the sum here and say maybe is equaling to sum. You see what is happening. So maybe I close, if I close the bracket, of course it is going to give me F2 up to F10. It is saying F2 up to F10. But if I change this one to F11, if I change it to F11, you'll see it is not going to be written as F2 up to F11. It is going to have a different name. So it's just supposed to be that. Let me redo it again and say is equal to sum, and it's yeah, you can see total sales 10% increase. So it is just summing that column. So total sales 10% increase, and then suppose I add a new column, then you say here insert. So if we insert here and maybe write what? So let's write even grains 3, then 4, 5, 6. This one was total sales. Oh, we did not copy formula here. So you can just say is equaling to product of this, comma, and then price per unit. Then you do a price per unit. So the moment maybe you type the square boxes, you can see that it is listing for you all the columns of the table that you are having. So you can just hover around and press on tab. Yeah, because I want price per unit, and this is equaling to product is blocking me from selecting one of those names. So you just come and tab on price per unit. Sorry, Let's see what is happening, and then price per unit, and add that square bracket and finish by doing that, right? So it automatically adds. This one needs to be dragged here. Yeah. So the moment you, provided you've added all this information, I don't know which one this is. A new price after 10% increase. So this one also we needed to do is equaling to product, or maybe we just select this price and then multiply by 1.1, because that is what you are using, 1.1, and then you can just double click, sorry, and then we have it there. So you can see that it's automatically updating. The sum totals are automatically updating whenever you add a new column. This one we've had to do all those calculations because our table did not have formulas, number one, right? We copied values instead of copying formulas, and that's why I also wanted us to work around it that way. But it's automatically updating everything that you are doing, mostly with this total sales and the likes, because it is picking the whole column. With this, it is picking the whole column. It is not picking specific values. Maybe we just sum from here up to here. Yeah. So one of the advantages are just how quickly maybe structured tables are supposed to be working. If we had all the formula set, we could have finished everything a little bit faster. I don't know if there's any other thing that we've not covered in Excel tables, so that we go and look at structured tables, or sorry, not structured tables, but data cleaning. I'm trying to think of anything that you've not done. Okay, let me try to do a summation outside here and see what is happening. So we can use the formulas inside or formulas again outside, and let's do a sum and maybe sum what? I want us to sum this one and even this, and see if it is going to give new names to the formula remains that way because you're summing two different things. Let's see if you're summing maybe a whole column. So we are summing this plus, and it's not referencing the name, I believe, because we are outside the as compared to how we are doing summation here, where it is just referencing the column name. Yeah. When you're outside, it's just summing the normal way we were doing without when we didn't have the table. So that's it. Something else that you may need to know is, you may want to know, for example, the number of rows, the header column. You may want to know maybe the rows that are containing the data. Let's type something like this. So is equaling to sales. So you can see that it is telling us that there's a table around. So is equaling to sales, and maybe type something like yeah, you can see something here, maybe all. So if you type on all and add that last one, it is highlighting all the hashtag all, and then tab all. Yeah, it is highlighting for you all the rows, all the cells that are occupied by the data within your table. If you do something like maybe header, right, at the tab, it is going to tell you the row that is containing the headers. If you change maybe something like totals, there's a totals here. You can see that it is highlighting for you the totals, right? If you do something like data tab, it is just telling you the rows that are containing your data. So for example, number 2 up to number 12 is containing the data. So number 2 up to number 12. It has excluded number 1 and also excluded number 2. I mean, these are just simple things that I'm trying to tell you within structured tables. If you want to see maybe new price, let me see what we can do with that one. Tab, yeah, you can see that column, right? That is Excel table for you. So suppose even here, you want to do a summation, the sum, and then in bracket, I start typing maybe something like S. When I type S, you can see that I am highlighting, it is highlighting for me the table. I mean, what I'm saying is, if you maybe start typing the first letter of your table, of your table name, it is going to bring the pop-up. The first pop-up is going to be of your table. So for example, here we have the sales, which is the name of the table that we are working with. So it's equaling to sales, and maybe we want to write something like the sales and then quantity, sum of quantity, sum of total sales, right? So you can go down and say maybe total sales after 10% increase, and then finish by that and close your bracket. So you can see what is happening here, right? So this is similar to what we have here. Let me repeat. So if you are doing even maybe a product or sum if, and maybe we first type sales, which sales. So we want to sum if maybe item, or maybe where is our range? Sorry, you have entered too few arguments for this. So we want to sum if maybe, what is the range that we are looking for? If the product is equaling to something like flashlight, or maybe is equaling to tents, the only problem is we are just going to have an exact value. If we had, for example, item list where we have so many, maybe flashlights are listed a number of times, in that instance, we could be making sense with the sum if that you want to use. And so, I mean, what you can do is, if you want to reference your table quick, you can just start by highlighting the name of that table, and then you just tab and enter the first thing that you want to sum. The first thing maybe you can just highlight maybe even the price. So if you do a sum sales, which is also possible, what you've done, it is going to add all the values that we have here, and then gives us 101,908. So this 101,908 is everything that we have inside this table, except the totals. It should not be adding the totals, I believe so, unless we can confirm. If it doesn't, then it is going to pick from here up to this point. So with your sum. So if you say sum sales like sum the whole table, yeah, definitely it's going to pick the values that are inside here. It is not going to pick the totals. So you can see when you wrote maybe is equaling to sum and added sales, it is highlighting the data, the one that is containing the data points, excluding the first row and then the last row, which is the totals. The totals row. So you have that, and then if you do the sum sales, it is adding everything that is inside here. But maybe that one might not make sense with the data that we are having. So I'm just trying to think of things that you may want to do with an Excel structured tables, because formulas we covered yesterday, the counts and the things like that. Something else that you may need to know. If not, we can have any question. If somebody has any question. Yeah, there's something else. You may want to count the number of rows. So let me write here rows, and then write here columns. Write here columns. I'm just trying to think of them because I didn't have a look at it before having the class. I was somewhere else. So this is equaling to rows. You want maybe to count the number of rows in your table. So let's see. I believe it should be is equaling to rows. Is equaling to rows, and then the name of the table. The name of our table is sales. So that is the array. So it is telling us that we have 11 rows. Is it true? Yeah, 11. Yeah, because we have 13. So 13, and it is excluding the last row and the first row. 13 minus 2, that should be 11. Yeah, and then if you want to count the number of columns, so is equaling to columns, array. What is our array? Array is sales. So you enter the name of that table, sales, and then you have 6. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6, right up to F. So because this time round it excluded row number last and the first row, and maybe you may want to know all of them, what do? So you can say, let me say total rows. You may want to know that total rows. So this one is equaling to, you can write is equaling to rows and type sales, then add all. And then you're going to have, yeah, you can see now it has highlighted all the rows. So you have 13. So even if you have maybe, so why this one can also be important. So for example, you want to know the number of people that responded to even a certain survey, right? And it is in thousands, it is in hundreds, right? You just come here and insert a table in your data and just type is equaling to rows. Automatically it is going to exclude the header. So the information that you're going to remain with will be equaling to the number of rows. But if you have, even if you have a totals row, it is going to be excluded. So you will automatically know that from our data, we have 11 inventories that we are looking at here. If they were maybe in hundreds, maybe we have 120 inventories that we are looking at. Yeah. Suppose I add another row. You're not able to duplicate, but maybe insert. If I insert, you can see it is changing. The total number of rows is changing to 14, rows is changing to maybe 12. If you add another column here, column here should be maybe profit margin, or even you can say maybe the COGS. So COGS, this one being the cost of goods sold. So you first find maybe the cost of goods sold, and then find maybe something like profit, because you first need to know what is your cost of production. So cost of goods sold, profit. Now you have 8 rows, right? So this profit, of course, might be something like total sales minus the cost of goods sold, and then you have now your profit margin. Is it a profit or loss? That you will know from the result of your. But that is it. I've done too much ranting, by the way. Anybody having a question? Yeah, I'm seeing a couple of hands. Let me check in the comment. I hadn't seen the. Okay, yeah. So we have been talking for the past 27 minutes. Alan.
Okay, I just wanted you to add on the total rows, the formula.
Yeah, total rows. So for us to get, you can see that for us to get the rows, we are writing is equaling to rows So Winnie Ambogo is also requesting for total rows is equaling to rows. Then we are being asked like, what is your array? So our array is cells, right? The name of our table. So this one returns the rows, but it is excluding the header and also the totals column. If we didn't have the totals column, then it is just excluding the header only, right? And now you insert, then you can see that you have 12. Yeah. So that is for rows. But then for total rows, this one now doesn't exclude the header, it doesn't exclude the total. I mean, this one total rows that you're having is equaling to rows is equaling to rows, sorry. Yeah, is equaling to rows. And then our array is cells. Yeah. But again, if we just close this bracket, it is going to return for us the 12 that we had. So you put a square bracket, and then we want this one, which is called all. This one writing all here. So you can type all or hashtag all, or just come and hover your cursor and click it, then tab, and then close the parenthesis, and then close it one more time, and then click enter, and then it will count all the rows from number 1 up to number 14. So it is counting from number 1 up to number 14. So that is for you to get the total rows, right? Similar to total columns. Vince, you had a question.
When I type cells in my formula, it's not working.
When you type cells, it's not working. So which formula are you using? Or maybe what do you want to achieve?
That one for is equals to sum, then into brackets, the cells table, the array.
This one? Like is equaling to sum, and then cells.
Yeah, now the cells, it's not showing up.
Maybe you did not, did you change the name of your table?
This one for structured tables.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, first go to design, and then change it here, table name, sales, right? You can change it to sales. I can even give it a different name, maybe sales, inventory, stocks, whatever. Even I can say it is called Boniface, or it's called maybe Alan, or data mine, right? So it's anything. Yeah. Yeah, I believe it's working now. Yeah, so that's it. Brianna, so after the calculation of the total columns and rows, do any changes get detected and change the previous result? Yes, it does, and I showed, right? You can see here, now I added this one. If I delete it, first, even before deleting it, you can check that the total rows we are having is 12, and we are having 14. The total rows are 14, and then the rows are 12. That is the rows containing the data. These ones are up to number 13 are 12, right? But then the total number of rows, because this one excludes the header and the total, if you do a total rows and then the formula you can see there, it is 14. Now, let me delete this one, because that is also going to be a change. So if I delete this, you can see that it has detected that the rows are now 11, total rows are now 13. If I insert a row, if I insert, it goes back. If I do another insert, we have 13, 15, and the number keeps on moving, right? So Control Z, Control Z. Brianna, you okay? Brianna, I hope that was your question.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's now switch to that data for data cleaning. I'll also share maybe a video also talking about maybe structured tables, right? Because I've covered almost everything that is supposed to be there, unless I'm missing anything. But I don't think there is something that I'm missing. But I'll maybe give you even like a video talking about something close to what we have discussed. But generally, these are the things that is involved in tables. And we have not spent much time because we had used formulas. There are so many formulas that we've done here. Because even with this, you can do a search here for even that VLOOKUP. I'm looking up for, we put here again. Let me just do one VLOOKUP quickly. We are not spending too much time in structured tables because um, we had already done formulas. So if you want to maybe find what is the total sales, total sales after the 10% increase, total sales of strings, of course, it is going to be equal to VLOOKUP, and then you do a lookup value being strings, and then table array. Table array is this one. So this one I don't have to highlight and go down here. I just pick maybe, yeah, you can see that it knows where my table is ending. Yeah, so my table should be ending maybe here. That one, right? So you can see how it has highlighted it. Sales, whatever, headers, data, and then comma, column index. Column index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are column index number 6. Range lookup, we want it to be exact. And then you can see that the total sales for strings was equaling to 198. So all those things that we did yesterday, you can do with this. Are we together? Okay. Yeah. Power and go to that other table that you are using. Not table, the data that I shared in the group, so that we talk about data cleaning quick, fast, minus slow. Yeah. Are you all having I'm having shida ya matamshi leo kama nilikula njahe and things like that. I believe that you are all having that data and you have pumped it or maybe powered it. Yeah. Thumbs up if you are ready. We look at data cleaning for the next 20 minutes. Bethwell is ready, Sharon, Radovan, Tom, and I believe everybody else. Brianna should be ready. Vince, Jonah, Rose, Casey. Okay, Joel. Yeah. So looking at that data, I want you to tell me any problem that you are seeing with the data. One thing is that is very clear is always this. There is no structured way of doing data cleaning, right? That I'm coming from here, I'm going to this point, I'm going to there, I'm coming to. It is you to think of what do I want to see in this data. It always depends on the type of data that you are working with. There are those who can be working with sales data, right? You first have to check. You want to check maybe are the currencies in order. Maybe sometimes the currencies are in euros and you wanted them in Kenyan shillings, right? Are there decimal points maybe within the currencies? Because currency, when you're dealing with currency, you may need to have some decimals because those decimals are also very effective. If a dollar is going for 167.38, that point is really doing a lot, right? So when it comes to things like currencies, of course, when you have a data for maybe sales and things like that, you want to check is maybe the data formatted correctly, yeah, And so you may need to check all those formatting issues. Vince Moirori was asking that at what point does the design tab pop up? It pops up. It pops up if you click the table. So you just click inside the table and then go to, you can see design. If I click outside the design, it's not here. So just click inside the table, then there's design, and then you go and do whatever it is that you want to do. But the main question that we are asking ourselves is, or maybe what we are saying, yes, Alan saw it, I sent that data in the group. But what you are saying is there is no structured way of doing data cleaning. But you must first know of key things that to look for when doing data cleaning, right? What are some of the things that you need to look out for? Shout the answers. No, let me be structured. The same way we've done structured tables. So what do you need to look at when doing data cleaning? So if I just point, you just say one, leave the rest for others to say. So number one, Evita. What do you look for when doing data cleaning? I want to write them down because they will form part of what we'll do now next week. Yeah, give me so data cleaning. Evita, just one thing that you look out for. Your microphone is on mute. If you're not able to speak, you'll type, but don't type before you are told to type. Evita. Okay, let's go to Casey. Casey, what do you check for when doing data cleaning? Your microphone is on mute.
Search for missing values.
Good, missing values. Next, Sharon Nyamwea.
Remove duplicate.
Duplicates. Aiga.
Incorrect values.
Incorrect values. That is correct. Now let's go to men. Alvin Kinoti. Alvin, your microphone is on mute.
We check for outliers.
Outliers. Paul.
They already said whatever it is that I wanted to say.
There are so many things that have not been said. Try to think of anything. Just say anything that you. uh, Job. What do they have?
Yeah, so what of spelling? Spelling errors. Leave the same.
Yeah, so the spelling. You can also say spelling. Uh-huh. Any other thing to look out for when doing data cleaning?
Correct punctuation.
Yeah, this is Gumbaru school. That's okay. Anybody else to say something that has not been touched on?
How about to organize?
To organize? Yeah, general organization. Maybe you can talk about structural issues, right?
Spacing.
Yeah, extra spacing. You may also. So when Madhyambo is saying typos and syntax, yeah, that is the spellings. So typos and syntax, structural issues can really encompass most of them, which is even include something like extra spaces. So there's extra spaces. There's something that I'm seeing somebody typing irrelevant data. Irrelevant data is really relevant point. Case sensitivity, availability of redundancies. Redundancies is basically duplication, duplicates. Data type, yeah, even the dates By the way, date is always a very key thing to look at. Validate data. Uh-huh. Okay, sensitivity. Yeah, I mean, all those things that you've said. Now, give me an example of an irrelevant data. When do you consider that you have an irrelevant data? An example can be you are collecting data using Google Forms, and then it collects the GPS of the person who was filling the data. Or it collects, for example, the time the person started and the time the person finished. I mean, sometimes if you are really interested in how long some people are taking to fill a Google form, then it will not be irrelevant. But data can be relevant depending on what it is you want to achieve at the end of your analysis, right? You want to analyze about maybe the impact of the origin of commodity in influencing the buyer decisions, right? And then it collects, for example, the time somebody started filling the form and the time is done finishing, start time and end time. I mean, it is going to be relevant. Yeah, we don't care how long you took to finish that data. Or it collects maybe the GPS. The GPS will really be relevant data when somebody is maybe collecting sensors. For those who are able to do sensors, you are collecting the GPS, or maybe the kit was uh, collecting the GPS where you are filling that information, right? You had to record that, I believe so. Or something like Safaricom is tracking a fraudulent business that had happened. Yeah, so they might really need to collect the exact location. Maybe somebody made a call. So in that case, it is not relevant. It is not irrelevant. So data is irrelevant depending on what it is that you want to achieve. Yeah. Um, what else? Any example of irrelevant data? Somebody might be having another example where data can be irrelevant. Now start thinking about wire your mind to having a data mindset now, because now the point where we are now going to start using doing data analytics and thinking around that data. That's why your cohort is also called data minds, right? Develop some sort of a data mind. Wema.
Yeah, I'm thinking another example could be if you're having, let's say, a list probably of names in the Excel sheet and you want to number them. I mean, that would be relevant because Excel already has numbers.
Yeah, we have even numbering here. Okay. Yeah, that can also be relevant. Anybody else? Bethuel, anything you're thinking about? Yeah, I'm seeing Vince.
Can we say like in the case of E11, there where we have 1841,
11.
that's additional data that is after
Oh, this one.
the Gabriel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, after week. Yeah, that can also be. I mean, those are some of the things now that you can be looking for when doing your data cleaning. You will also see. Yeah. Now take a look at that data. Take a look at this data. So we've talked about, by the way, missing values. Missing values is also something that is very important. Sometimes maybe somebody was in a hurry to finish the filling up the Google form, right? And it skips a question. Sometimes maybe whoever was preparing the Google form did not include a restriction that this one is a must. You have to fill it in, yeah, before proceeding to the next question. Yeah. So missing data can be that way. So somebody did not fill it, or it can be missing because that question is irrelevant to the respondent. So sometimes you are asking people about, um, let me say, do you smoke? Then it's a yes or no question. You're doing a study at a state. You're doing a study maybe about causes of lung cancer, or maybe risk factors of lung cancer, or any type of cancer, maybe related to smoking, you are related to alcohol, or you are looking at risk factors of non-communicable diseases. Do you smoke? Do you exercise? Right? Do you drink alcohol and things like that? So I was saying that sometimes it can be a missing value when that data is irrelevant, or maybe that question is irrelevant to the respondent, and now we call it system missing. Right? Should be system missing value. So you ask somebody, do you smoke? And then the person says yes. And then you go to the next question. If yes, how many rolls, or how do you call this, cigarettes? How many what? Whatever boxes of cigarettes do you smoke? Or if it's for those smoking weed, how many blunts, or maybe I don't know how many rolls do you smoke in a day? So that is if yes. But if somebody answered up there no, then that question is going to be irrelevant for him or her, and therefore they will skip it and go to the next question. Yeah. So that is, in that case, it is a missing value, yes, but it is missing. Can I say it is missing correctly? Yeah. It is deemed to be missing because that person answered, maybe responded yes or no, and such like stuff. Um, yeah. So that is missing value. So missing value is also a key thing we look at. Duplicates, we sometimes you enter data twice, and so it might affect your analysis, right? So in that case, duplicates is not going to be desirable for to be inside your data. Another thing, maybe incorrect values. Yeah, that's why we were also doing something like data validation. You remember yesterday when the other day when we were looking at data validation. So incorrect values. You are doing a study for people who are aged 20 to 40, and somebody writes that I'm aged 60. Yeah, that can be like an incorrect value. You outliers, we had already given outliers. Spelling, somebody mentioned spelling or typos. They are called typographical errors. So you are supposed to write that somebody is earning $100, and then by mistake you write that this person is earning $1,000. So $100 being 166, I mean $100 is 16,000, close to 17, and then instead you are writing that this person is earning 170,000, and think of it that you are doing a question or maybe analysis around taxing. So you want to tax to write the amount of tax that these people are supposed to pay, and then instead of writing 100, you write 1,000. So you are going to give a wrong impression in terms of the amount of money that this person is supposed to be paying, right? Na mtapigana sana. So that is typographical issues. There can also be structural issues. Structural issues can be around. We will do something called power pivot, or maybe a power query. Sorry, and then you will see that one of the structural issues can be a text data is stored as numerical data. Yeah, this one is more of like a string type of data. It is stored as numerical data. So by default, there are those things that you can do in numerical data, and there are those things that you cannot do in numerical data. There are those things you can do in numerical data and you cannot do in string data. For example, finding maybe the mean, right? The mode. You cannot find the mode of the mode of this, the mean of these things, of these names. I mean, it will be nonsensical. So if typographical issues can be around that. So a date is written as number. Yeah, you are supposed to write it as date. So for example, the data that we've been using, maybe let me say this one. So this data, you're supposed to maybe, oh, we don't have anything like a date. So think of this one was supposed to be a date value, and then you have not written them as date, you have written them as numbers. So those are other issues that can be there. So they were supposed to be appearing this way, but for you wrote them this way. We together, right? I mean, that is intro to to just trying to think of any other thing that you can be looking up for when you want to do data cleaning. Yeah, I hope we are fine. Anybody having a question? Anybody feeling jolly? Thumbs up. You're feeling fine. Yeah. Oh, so nobody's feeling fine. Yeah, Aiga, Jonah, Waidanji, Joy, Vince, Bethwell, Casey, Sharon, we're feeling fine. We're good. Wema Odhiambo. Yeah, so if we are good, then tell me which are the issues that you've seen with this data that might need to be cleaned. So put up your hand. This one is not a chorus. So Wema is starting. Issue number 1.
We have repetition of two names that have been repeated.
Where?
There is Woodrow Wilson, 29 and 30.
29 and 30. Woodrow Wilson. So you can see that it is a duplicate because all the information has been repeated, including the salary that Woodrow used to earn. Yeah. Date updated. There's yeah. So that, yeah. So Barack Obama is also here. We are seeing Barack has been repeated. Class 3, whatever. Joe Biden, Wednesday, July, whatever. Vince was next.
The date format is not uniform.
The date format. Why is it not uniform? Yeah, you can see here. This one is called a long date format. This one is a short date format. So long date, short date. It is not consistent. Another thing, I saw somebody else, Bethwell.
Okay, on the column for the vice president.
Vice president, yeah.
Yeah, we have the names, for example, to be specific, George Clinton. We have the name has started from the
George Clinton. Yeah, okay.
And if you compare it with Aaron, the name that is above,
yeah,
there is a space before the name.
Yeah, so there's extra spacing, right?
Extra spacing.
You can also see Millard Fillmore.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Somebody else, a lady. I'm seeing Alan Sand is up. Yeah, Alan, you can go before I choose a lady.
On the is it row number 9?
Yeah.
On the column of party, that is E. We have a party. All this other we have they have their respective parties, but on the column, on the row number 9, it's complicated. We get paid.
Oh, this one, this, or this row, row number 9. So this is row number 10. Okay, so you're saying you're using this.
Not 9. It is, I think, 12.
You're saying row number 12. This one.
On my slide is number
9. Okay. Oh, number 9. This one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing what you're saying. Yeah. So you're having an issue here. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Somebody else, a lady. Let me choose a lady. Those ladies are Waidanji. Waidanji, any issue? Joy Abila. Joy Bila. Is it Joy Bilha? Joy. Waidanji, you can type. Yesterday you were having an issue with your mic. Joy, unmute. There's one last thing that I'm seeing that, yeah, type Joy. Waidanji is saying something. Waidanji is saying something. Let's see from the comment section. Waidanji is a man? Okay, I didn't know. So numbering while it is not required. Oh no, I'm a lady. Oh, Bethel is throwing me off the balance. Tiger Phyllis is saying something in number 10 in the party, some irrelevant data. Yeah, okay. Joy Bill, I'm waiting. Okay, sensitive. Casey is saying case sensitive. James Monroe in upper. Yeah, those are things to look at. You can do all that for your. So maybe we don't need this one, right? We may not need this. So irrelevant data. Another thing, you can see maybe column Z, of course, they are in small letters. But if you look at George Washington and John Adams, there is inconsistency in terms of the casing, right? Yeah, in terms of the casing. So we have others having upper cases, some are having lower cases, and you can even see James K. Polk, how it is, and you can see John Tyler. Any other difference here that you can see? Roosevelt is okay. Donald Trump, wengine are looking a little bit okay. Maybe you have to join F going up, but now think of it that now this data is huge enough. So how do you change this problem? Like, how do you rectify this problem? So because maybe what you can do is, so we know it is George Washington, so we can even say is equaling to upper George. I don't know if it's going to work, but it should be. Okay. Now I know the problem. So what you need to do is to create a new column. So let me delete this and let me insert. So let me insert here and write is equaling to upper. I just want to show you what can happen. So is equaling to upper, and then this is the text. So just trying to see. So this one you can convert the names from I mean, from this sentence case to uppercasing. This one is the other one is called sentence case, right? And then there's now we have all of them in capital letters. Woodrow Wilson. We can also change it from is equaling to lower. You can write is equaling to lower. These are just Excel formulas also that you may need to know. Functions, sorry. George Washington. You have all of them in you have all of them in small letters. You can change it to now proper. You can change it to proper, and then the text here is George Washington, and then so it is now in a proper casing. So you can see all of them now are in proper casing. So you can just come and change here to president, and then delete this one. Let me see. If we delete it, it's going to be a mistake. Let me say delete. Yeah. So that is going to be a problem. Yeah. So you have it here. You can copy it and then paste without formulas, right? You can just copy this one. Let's try to copy this and paste. Is it going to work? Yeah. So if you check here and then if you delete this, delete. So you have it now. You don't have a formula inside it, right? So you paste it without the formulas. Yeah. Another thing that we also noticed was a duplicate, right? So how do you identify a duplicate? I'm hiding that because so we can first select our data. I wanted to ask you people that one as a question. So we can select our data and go to data, and then there is this one, remove duplicates. So delete duplicate rows from a sheet. You can pick which columns should be checked for duplicate information. Yeah, so in this case, I've highlighted the whole of this table, but we can clearly see that the duplicates are in this column. So if you remove the duplicate here, because there's a problem if you remove duplicates. Let's just try it and then you'll see why selecting the whole table is not advisable. This is because you can be having unique identifiers for a column, right? And in this case, the unique identifier is the serial number. So you can see that the serial number here is 28, and then there's another serial number which is 28. Here we have 44, and we again have 44. So when removing the duplicates, ensure that the column that uniquely identifies the rows is what is highlighted. Yeah. Sometimes maybe you have ID numbers of people, and then you really know very well that there is no instance where ID yako na ID ya mwingine is going to be the same, right? So that is what can be the unique identifier. So that is what you highlight. Because if we highlight here, we can have duplicates maybe in terms of the earnings and maybe in terms of the dates. Yeah, just trying to think. So you can highlight this one and then maybe say remove duplicates. So here, to delete duplicate values, select one or more columns that contain duplicates. So which is the column that we need to look at? It is serial number. So it can either be serial number or president. But if we highlight president and the president, maybe in the case of Trump was there and then there's a gap and then Trump comes again. Is both the 40 maybe fifth president and the 40 what? 8th president? Is it 8th or 6th or 7th? 47th president in that instance. So president cannot be a good idea to go with. So serial number might work good for us, right? So we can maybe remove the vice and the salary and the date created. So you can see that 2 duplicate values found and removed. 45 unique value remains. And click on OK. Let's try it when we select everything. Sometimes it can be remove duplicates and one duplicate. So in this case, it is saying 1 duplicate values found and removed. So which one is that unique which is still remaining? 1 duplicate value found. So let's look at Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson, 34th governor, and then so this one does not tell us when. I think there's something that is different with it, and it might be, so there's this Thomas. So why is it not considered duplicate? 2012, 2021, everything else is the same. Democrat. Let's see this one. 1911, 1913, 1911. So why is this one not considered a duplicate? Maybe it is not considered a duplicate because of other issues like extra spacing. Whether if we have here Woodrow Wilson and then create an extra space, it is going to be different from, it might be different from the other Woodrow Wilson. But in the first instance, it was removed. That is why I'm wondering why it is not being removed. So that means that using this unique identifier makes sense. So using the unique identifier is making more sense as compared to the other one. Control Z. Then we have Barack Obama there, and then click on remove duplicates and remove duplicates, and we use that serial number. So you can check on the one that uniquely identifies. So you can just unselect all and then click on serial number and then click on OK. And then 2 duplicate values found and removed. 45 unique values remain. So 45 unique values remain. Yeah, okay. Up to Trump is 45. So 45. Yeah, it's okay. So that's it. Because the other one was remaining and then we were to have 46 rows. So that is removing duplicates. Any other thing that we can do cleaning on? I'd prefer you go and you check on these other things. For example, here we have a certain issue. Whig Party, April 1841 to September 13, 1841. And maybe something like, yeah, this one you can do a trim. Yeah. So you can even create a new column here and insert and maybe do is equaling to trim. And now go and think of it that when you want to trim so many, like you want to trim the whole data, go and look at how to do that. Because maybe doing it once might be a problem. So you can check here, Aaron Barr and this one. And then even if you check John Calhoun or whatever, you can see there's so many extra spaces between C and Calhoun, right? These ones have been cleaned. Tyler, George M. Dallas, and finally, yeah, those ones. Any question? I beg to stop. This is just introduction to data cleaning. Next week, we are going to look at critical cases like for example, missing values and how to work around missing values. It's one of the things that is always bringing problems for people. So if there's any question that might need us to respond to, Vince Mairori.
There at the president column, how did you delete the other column on the left?
The other column. I just highlighted, I just clicked this column this way. Let me say this one. Then right clicked and delete. It's not working. I'm hearing some sounds.
It has an error. The hashtag ref.
Yeah. So what I did was, so for example, this one, let me create or insert. So here, it was, we were changing it to proper case. To proper, then the text is this one. Then it has changed to proper. So if I delete this, because whatever I've written here, it is etched on this column number B. If I delete column number B, delete, I'm going to have the refs. So Control Z. So what I did was to just copy this, to copy what we had gotten here. Copy. So Control copy. So if I am to paste it anywhere, I'm going to paste the values. So if you say paste value, you are not pasting the formula. You're not copying the formula. But if you do a Control V, let me copy it. Control copy. If you do a Control V, yeah, you can do a Control V, by the way. Sorry. Which one have I copied? No, I've copied the wrong data. That's why I'm wondering why it is not copying the formula. So let me copy this one with the formula and do a Control V. Of course, so this one proper K2. Yeah, so this one has worked with the column next to it, because that is what we did for this one. Okay, yeah, this one needs to be deleted now. It has values that are not supposed to be there. But what I mean is, if you go and paste it, it is going to paste even the formula, and you've seen it here. That is why it was referencing the. So it was saying it is equaling to proper K2. So it is copying the formula. That is if you do a Control V. But if you do like a paste special, so let me just copy even a few, and then go here and do paste only this, paste the values, and then you click it. There's no formula. You can see the formula bar, right? If you pick this, Control copy, and paste Control V, you'll see there's no answer here, but there's a formula inside. You can see it has copied the formula, proper D52, which is not supposed to be the case. So what I did was just to highlight all these things that I have here, Control copy, and then came back to where the president is and just did then pasted it there and deleted this one. So I still had whatever it is that we had. So you can see that there's none in here. Everything fine? Vince is okay. Any question? Eric.
Mine does it have the one for remove duplicates?
It is not there.
Yes.
Where has it gone to? So if you click data, you're not able to see this part written data tools.
After text column, there is flash fill. There is no remove. Yes.
Yeah, you can just do a walkthrough. It should be somewhere there. It should be found within the data space, this data. So you can just,
Okay.
yeah, you can just maybe use Machone
Okay.
and tell me if you found it. If not, somebody might have experienced that problem. Go to Stack Overflow. Just paste your problem that my Excel does not have remove duplicates. In Stack Overflow, for those who have engaged with Stack Overflow, it's one of those. Let me stop recording.